Good morning, I'm Samriddhi K.C. and these are the headlines of the hour. Government introduces 3 ordinances from late-night cabinet meeting. Decision comes amid heavy criticism for delaying parliament session. 303rd Prithvi Jayanti being celebrated with much fervor across the country, various programs being organized to mark the day. Venezuela's Nicolas Maduro sworn in for the 3rd term after contested elections. US announces $25 million reward for Maduro's capture. And Nepal sets to contest on Women's Kabaddi World Cup 2025. 14 countries to participate in the championship to be held on March. Welcome back. Government has prepared to introduce 3 ordinances including amendment in several acts. The meeting of cabinet held up to late night yesterday at Balwatar had proposed to implement ordinances in order to ease the economic scenario of the country. The introduction of the ordinance is expected to ease the legal hassles in the construction sector. The ordinance is expected to come into effect as soon as it gets approved by the President. The government has also decided to introduce ordinance relating to land and investment. Government, who has been criticized of dilly-dallying the parliament session, has chosen the path of ordinance. Premier had met the President earlier yesterday along with Chief Secretary Ek Narayan Aryal and Minister of Law, Justice and Parliamentary Affairs Ajay Chaurasia before the meeting. The ordinance includes several provisions relating to fines in the government offices, bringing the government-introduced Nagarik app into operation. Similarly, non-residential Nepali citizen who has stayed in the country for 10 years shall get free visa and the retirement age of the laborer shall be extended to 60 years. The government has also decided to confiscate criminal assets and instruments involved. The government has been criticized time and again for introducing ordinances and delaying the parliament session. Earlier, an ordinance relating to the cooperatives was introduced. The ordinance should be approved within 60 days of the introduction, otherwise it shall be termed ineffective. 303rd Prithvi Jayanti is celebrated by organizing various programs today. The birth anniversary of Prithvi Narayan Shaha, which falls on the Nepali month of Posh 27 every year, is being celebrated across the country by organizing various programs. Prithvi Narayan Shah was born on Nepalese year of 1779, 27th of Posh in Gorkha to King Narbhupal Shah and Queen Kausalyavati. Prithvi Narayan became the king on 25th of Chaitra 1799 BS. Before that, Nepal was divided into 52 principalities. After Prithvi Narayan became king, he succeeded in extending the border of Nepal from Tista in east to Chepe River in the west. After the demise of Prithvi Narayan, his successors worked to expand the state of Nepal to the fort of Kangada in the west. Prithvi Narayan Shah had conquered Nuwakot in 1801 BS. 25 years later, in 1826 BS, he conquered the Kathmandu Valley. After conquering the Nepal Valley, Prithvi Narayan Shah extended the borders of the country. In memory of Prithvi Narayan Shah, who celebrated the unification of Nepal with support of all castes and languages, the birth anniversary is being celebrated with much fervor across the nation. Inflation has reached 6.05%, exceeding government's goal of limiting it to 5% based on the latest report by Nepal Rashtra Bank. The central bank has attributed the inflation rise to the inflation in the Indian market as Nepal shares majority trade with the southern neighbor. Prices of vegetables have gone up by 43.05%, pulses and grains by 10.66% and other foods by 9.70%. The central bank report states remittance has increased by 4.4% to reach 640,430 million rupees, which has boosted foreign currency reserve in mid-July last year. The reserves were at 2,041,100 million, which has gone up by 11.4% to reach 2,273,260 million rupees by the mid-December. Kaski District Court on 9th of January allowed bail to 7 defendants in the Surya Darshan cooperative case, including former Home Minister and Rashtriya Swatantra Party Chair Rabi Lamichhane. However, Lamichhane still faces charges at 4 district courts.
On 22nd December last month, a second-round charge sheet was filed at the Kaski District Court demanding for a fines of 1,510 million rupees from alleged individuals for mishandling Pokhara's Surya Darshan cooperative funds. This included former Home Minister Ravi Lamichhane and former DIG Chabilal Joshi among 7 who were allowed bail on Thursday. However, Lamichhane and Joshi still face charges of mishandling funds of 4 other cooperatives, including Chitwan's Sahara, Parsa's Sanopaila, Butwal's Supreme and Kathmandu's Swarna Lakshmi. 2 have been alleged of transferring the cooperative funds to Gorkha Media Network, and their statements have already been recorded. Another accused, Kumar Ramtel, who is still in custody, has also recorded his statement. 2 of the alleged in Swarna Lakshmi case have been released on bail. The District Attorney's Office filed a case against 39 in total, demanding for a fine of 2,650 million rupees. In the charge sheet, GB Rai has been asked for a fine of 617.1 million rupees, Rabi Lamichhane 50.8 million, and Chabilal Joshi has been demanded for 57.8 million rupees. Lamichhane and Joshi will need to appear at Kathmandu District Court for detention hearing. Likewise, the second-round investigation on the embezzlement of Butwal's Supreme Cooperative has also concluded. 28 individuals were alleged of involvement in the case in the first round, and 14 more have been added after the second round probe. Investigation had revealed 20 million rupees loan had been issued to Rabi Lamichhane. Rupandehi Police had recommended the District Attorney's Office to demand for 1,120 million rupees from the defendants, including 80 million rupees each from Lamichhane and Joshi. The District Attorney's Office will now file a charge sheet at the District Court, after which detention hearing will begin for Lamichhane and Joshi. Elsewhere, the investigation on Chitwan's Sahara Cooperative Fund case has also concluded for supplemental charge sheet. 17 individuals had been alleged of involvement in the first round of investigation, while 10 more have been added after the second round probe. The District Police has recommended for a fine worth 431.4 million rupees from the defendants. Likewise, Parsa Attorney's Office is preparing to file a charge sheet against Joshi and Lamichhane as investigations revealed of funds being transferred to Gorkha Media Network from Sanopaila Cooperative. The Parsa Police is to submit the report after third round of supplemental investigation, as they have taken statements from 5, including Lamichhane and Joshi. GB Rai, who is the main accused behind the cooperative's case, has meanwhile been absconding. Rai has been alleged of mishandling millions from various cooperatives. A red notice has already been issued through Interpol, and his passport has been scrapped. Investigations have revealed Gorkha Media Network had received funds from 5 cooperatives.
Welcome back. Representatives of various civil servants associations have protested against the proposal to scrap trade unions. Speaking at yesterday's session of the State Affairs and Good Governance Committee, they clarified scrapping trade unions would not be acceptable, saying it had been provisioned by the Constitution. Chairperson of the union close to Nepali Congress, Gopal Pokhrel, urged to not even dwell on such possibility.
Union अधिकारलाई 1 इन्च पनि तलमाथि गर्न सकिदैन, सकिन्छ भने यसलाई व्यवस्थापन गर्नु। हामी कर्मचारीबाट अराजक भएको छ अथवा कार्य प्रमुखलाई गएर चाहिँ अपमान गरिएको छ, गाली बेइज्जत गरिएको छ, मन्त्रीज्यूहरुसँग चाहिँ दुर्व्यवहार भएको छ, कहीं के भएको छ भने मौजूदा कानुन दण्डित गर्ने जुन कानुन छ त्यसलाई कार्यान्वयनमा ल्याऊ। कसैले गलत गर्छ, आफ्नो सीमा नाक्छ कुनै कर्मचारीले भने ती कर्मचारीलाई कारबाही हुनुपर्छ भन्ने कुरो म एउटा राष्ट्रिय स्तरको ट्युनको अध्यक्ष भएको नाताले पनि त्यो कुरो चाहिँ म तपाईहरुलाई चाहिँ जानकारी गराउन चाहन्छु। ती कुरालाई कारबाहीको प्रक्रियामा अगाडि बढाऊ।
Chairperson of Nepal Civil Services Union close to CPN UML Leknath Koirala urged the government to maintain provisions for trade unions as it is and warned of waging a strike if the rights were changed at all.
बन्द र हडताल सम्मको कुरा अहिलेको कानुनमा छ हजुर। हामीलाई रहर छैन हामी त्यो कुरा प्रयोग गर्न नपरोस् भन्ने ठाउँमा पनि हामी छौं हजुर। अन्तिममा मैले संकेत यही मात्रै गरे, यो प्रयोग गर्न नपरोस् यो ठाउँमा हामी पुग्नुपर्छ हजुर।
Likewise, chairperson of the union close to CP and Maoist Center, Amba Datta Bhatta, said that unions could be better managed but not scrapped.
त्यसकारण यो ट्रेड युनियनको बारेमा चाहिँ व्यवस्थापन कसरी गर्ने भन्नेमा हामीले कहिले छलफल गरेनौं। कहिले गरेनौं। त्यसमा छलफल गरौं। के गर्दाखेरि चाहिँ व्यवस्थापन गर्न सकिन्छ।
Many representatives also opined on their rights to be affiliated to the political parties. Representatives of the union at the federal parliament suggested to end the practice of appointing secretary from outside and also urged to hold exams for the temporary and contract-based staff by removing the age limit. In case of those who do not appear the exams, they are suggested for a golden handshake. Time for international update. Venezuelan President Nicolas Maduro, whose nearly 12 years in office have been marked by deep economic and social crisis, was sworn in a third term despite a 6-month-long election dispute. International calls for him to stand aside and an increase in the U.S. reward offers for his capture. Maduro, president since 2013, was declared the winner of July's election by both Venezuela's electoral authority and top court. Venezuela's opposition says ballot box level tallies show a landslide win for its former candidate Edmundo Gonzalez, who is recognized as president-elect by several countries, including the United States. International election observers say that the vote was not democratic. The months since the election have seen Gonzalez's flight to Spain in September, his ally Maria Corina Machado going into hiding in Venezuela. In a latest news in series of punitive steps, the outgoing Biden administration increased its reward for the information leading to the arrest or conviction of Maduro on drug trafficking charges to $25 million from a previous $15 million. It also issued a $25 million reward for the Interior Minister Diosdado Cabello and $15 million reward for Defense Minister Vladimir Padrino, as well as new sanctions against 8 other officials, including the head of the state oil company PDVSA, Hector Obregon. The U.S. indicated Maduro and others on narcotics and corruption charges, among others, in 2020. Maduro has rejected the accusations. The U.S. move coincided with sanctions by Britain and the European Union, each targeting 15 officials, including members of the National Electoral Council and the security forces, and Canadian sanctions targeting 14 current and former officials. The Maduro government has always rejected all sanctions, saying they are illegitimate measures that amount to an economic war designed to cripple Venezuela. U.S. President-elect Donald Trump will not go to jail, pay a fine, or be put on probation for his criminal convictions stemming from hush money paid to a porn star, but the sentence imposed by a judge places a judgment of guilt on his record. Justice Joan Merchan's sentencing of 78-year-old Trump to unconditional discharge just days before his January 20th inauguration closes a case that had loomed over his bid to retake the White House. By granting an unconditional discharge, Merchan places a judgment of guilt on Trump's permanent record without any other legal penalty. Trump will be the first president to take office with a criminal conviction. Merchan said that he was imposing a sentence because the U.S. Constitution shields presidents from U.S. prosecution. But he said the protections afforded to the office do not reduce the seriousness of the crime or justify its commission in any way. Trump pleaded not guilty and has vowed to appeal the guilty verdict. He appeared with his lawyer on TV screens beamed to the courtroom with 2 American flags in the background. Trump fought tooth and nail to avoid the spectacle of being compelled to appear before a state-level judge so close to when he was due to be sworn into office. The U.S. Supreme Court on Thursday rejected a last-minute bid by Trump to halt it. Greenland Prime Minister Mute Ejed said that he is ready to speak with U.S. President-elect Donald Trump, who has said he wants control over the Arctic island and urged respect for the island's independence aspirations. Trump, who takes office on 20th of January, said this week that US control of Greenland, a semi-autonomous Danish territory, was an absolute necessity and did not rule out using military or economic action such as tariffs against Denmark to make it happen. Greenland Prime Minister Mute Ejed said at a joint press conference with Danish Prime Minister Mette Frederiksen in Copenhagen that they have a desire for independence, a desire to be the master of own house, adding that this is something everyone should respect. That is all for the moment. Thank you for watching. Bye for now.